How many of you heard about long-term care before? Okay. Long-term care is a growing problem that families have to deal with. And with growing numbers of retirees, the problem is only getting worse. So think about it. If you have to take care of the parents while having a job and family, it can be a huge burden. Okay? You don't want to have your children live off work or leave work and then take care of you because you cannot take care of yourselves. Or worse is you're going to pay for someone to take care of you. So if you don't have money, how can you do that, right? So what's going to happen to you if you don't have enough funds to take care of you when you need long-term care? So who needs long-term care? There's a good chance you do. 70% of people over age 65 will require some long-term care services. 40% of those receiving long-term care are between 18 and 64. Okay? The average annual cost of a nursing home is $83,580 in the US. Imagine that. If you don't have money to support yourself, how can you take care of yourself? Or how can someone take care of you, right? You're going to need someone to take care of you for free if you don't have money for that. So the cost is lower when you are younger. So I advise those who are younger to get long-term care ready because the cost is going to be lower. Don't wait until you're old and then it's going to be very expensive for you to get that. So LTC pays for the insured who becomes chronically ill, which is defined as the inability to perform at least 2 of the following activities: bathing, continence, dressing, eating, toileting, and transferring. Okay, so that is long-term care, very important. Next in our financial foundation, our house, is debt management. So debt management, how many of you have credit cards? I myself have one, but when you think about credit cards, it's easy to just swipe, right? Easy to swipe. Compared to when you have cash in your pocket. So try this. Bring $100, go to the store, okay? And then try to spend $100. It's going to be very difficult to spend it, right? Because it's money, right? It's physical. But if you have credit card, it's easy to spend it because it's just plastic. You don't see the money. So we're going to talk about how do we manage debt, okay? On page 22 and 23, debt management. So control your debt or debt will control you. Okay? Just put that in your mind. Don't get more debt. Live below your means. You can't spend more than you make. So nowadays, this is like one of the 3 top problems of America. Okay, people have a lot of credit cards. And so they don't realize that they're already in debt because they don't see it. Okay? So it's very important that you manage how to use your credit cards. Do not carry credit cards. Instead, use cash, debit, or prepaid credit cards. Spend more money on necessities. Pay only for what is necessary like food, the mortgage, insurance, and utilities. Cut out unnecessary expenses like cable TV and tech upgrades. You don't need hundreds of channels, expensive gadgets, or excess cell phone data. Okay? There is no easy way. You have to give up something to get something. So nowadays you have cable, but you don't even watch, right? Like 200 channels, and you're paying like $150 for cable, and you don't even use it, okay? So just disconnect, okay, so that you can save $150 per month. I just did that like a year ago, okay? I said I'm not even using it. I work the whole day, and I'm already tired when I get home. I don't even have time to watch a TV. So why am I paying $200 for cable? And so I disconnected my cable. Even my landline, like everybody has cell phone, right? And they have landline at home and they're paying like $20 for landline. And I'm like, why am I paying $20 for landline? I have my cell phone, so I disconnected my landline too. So imagine that I saved $220 for those 2. So I started doing that last year, okay? So just make sure you're thinking of what can you disconnect or anything that you can save. Something that is not really useful and you don't need it, okay? It's not a necessity, it is just a want. So make a list of your debt. Start to pay them off one at a time. So this one, my husband just started this one, okay? So when we started this campaign, we realized, yeah, we have little debts here and there, credit cards, so we started paying the small amounts first. And then once we finished on the small amounts, then we added those amounts together and then started paying the bigger one, okay? So you start doing that, and then for all you know it, in a year, you'll be done with your credit card debts. But don't get credit cards anymore, okay? So you better just stop getting something from that one, and then just make sure you manage your credit cards, okay? It's still good to have credit card just for because we need the credit history, okay? But make sure your revolving fund is big, okay? Clear similar debt first. Already talked about that. Mortgage prepayment, okay? If you have mortgage, you have house, make sure you add additional payment to your house because look at this. If you have 30-year mortgage at 4.5% interest for $300,000, your monthly payment is $1,520.06. If you put an additional $500 into these payments, you can pay off your mortgage in 18 years and 2 months. Imagine that, instead of 30 years, right? So you save a lot of money. Okay, so now let's go back to my house. Emergency fund. So down with debt management, emergency fund. How many of you know how much of your salary should you save for you to have a good emergency fund? Yes, Laura?
6 months.
3 to 6 months, right? So if your salary is 5,000 per month, so times 6, how much is that? How much? 30,000, okay? If this guy, Jose, has 5,000K per month, he needs to have an emergency fund of, you said 60, right?
30.
Oh, 30. My math is bad. 30K emergency fund, okay? So think about that. If you don't have that in your bank or in your savings account, then you're not set for your emergency fund. Something happens, your AC broke, you're going to need your credit card again because you don't have your emergency fund. So very important, okay? So make sure you have that. Next. So understand how money works. That's our next topic, investment and retirement, okay?